Alright, so let's get into it. Once you pass your written examination, most likely than not, the next thing that you have to worry about is your physical examination. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Let's get it, guys. Alright, believe it or not, so many people actually fail the physical portion of the police hiring phase process. You'll be surprised. And that's what we're going to talk about today. But no need to fear. Lab is here. Don't worry, that's so cringe. Oh my god.
Why are you the way that you are?
Anyways, guys, you might be wondering why the police department take the physical test, which I'll be kind of surprised why you're asking that question, because if there's anything that we know about being a police officer, you do have to be physically fit to perform the job. But if you're wondering why, yes, this is why police department test you physically. They want to know that you're fit enough to carry and get the job done physically, pretty much. Alright, pardon the camera, I had to adjust my camera just a little bit. Anyways, this should really be a shorter video compared to my last video, which is about the first phase of the hiring process, which is the written examination. And now we're back talking about the physical examination, which is literally the next thing after your written one. So like I was saying, it should technically be a shorter video because this is the part where you have to literally, all of this whole process you have to do yourself, but this is the one part whereby literally nobody else can help you out except yourself. And today we're talking about the physical test they're going to be taking. So all I can do is tell you about the kind of tests you're most likely going to be taking and how I believe you can best prepare for it. I hope that helps. Let's get it, guys. Alright, so the first piece of advice I would suggest any day, anytime is go on your department's website and see what kind of physical examination your department requires of you. This is just because every single department offers and requires different kind of physical tests from each of the applicants. Some departments require to do a 2,000-meter row. Some other departments require you to do some push-ups, sit-ups, 1.5-mile run. Some other departments require you to do all of those that I just previously mentioned while taking obstacle tests. Some other departments require you to just take an obstacle test. Some other departments require you to not even do any of those and just literally go to your medicals and pass a physical to the doctor. So basically, you have to go to your department's website and see what they require of you. It's as simple as that. That's the number one major advice I can offer you. Alright, so you've been through your department's website and you've seen what your department requires you to do physically for the physical test. What's next? So let's say, for example, your department requires you to have a rower test. Usually what will entail is your department would require you to take a 2,000-meter row test. I made a video about this previously, and all you have to just do is the row, pretty much just row for 2,000 meters. Guys, it sounds easy. It technically is easy depending on your physical fitness level. However, I can promise you one thing, and I tend to be pretty physical when it comes to my physical tests. Those things burn. Your legs are gonna be burning. Like, actually, it's funny because most departments, they tell you to like wait a second before you get up because you get a wobbly. That's why they tell you to like sit down for a little bit, and when you feel like you're ready to leave, then you can leave. Because the 2,000 meter takes a toll on your legs. But it's a pretty, in the whole face of everything, I think the 2,000 meter row is pretty easy. So the distance they're gonna ask you to go for is 2,000 meter. They test you based upon your gender, your height, and your weight, and all of those come into factor, and then they calculate. There's a code calculator online that they use to test your rower score, and depending on your age, depending on your gender, depending on your height, depending on your weight, they calculate how much score you need to have or how much time you need to have on your road test, pretty much. But if you also don't know, you can literally just go online and look up road test calculator. Road test calculator, I'm gonna try to like put it on the screen over here. You put in your age, you put in your gender, you put in your height and your weight, and it tells you how much time you need to finish the road test for 2,000 meters. Alright, so some departments will require you to take some aerobic exercises, and this can include, of course, running. It's not limited to running, or when I say running, this involves like a long distance run, and it's also not limited to short distance run and sprint. Some departments require like take a 300-meter run. is not also limited to just a 300-minute run. They might also require you to take a long distance run for like 1.5 miles. And some departments require you to like do all of them together. Now, some of the aerobic exercises that you're gonna have to deal with involves, from my experience, involves the 1.5-mile run or 2-mile run, depending on the department you're going for. And some departments just require 1 mile, but usually it's 1.5-mile run. You also have the agility run. It's actually called the Illinois Agility Run. I don't know why it's called the Illinois Agility Run. I could look that up and see why it's called the Illinois Agility Run, maybe because it was made in Illinois, but it's mostly called the Illinois Agility Run. And you can literally just YouTube it. The Illinois Agility Run involves you going through obstacles, and not really obstacles, but like they set up some cones, and there's a particular pattern of like how you're supposed to run. From what I've learned about the agility run, and trust me, it's just better for you to go through a YouTube video and see what it looks like. It involves you running forward to a particular point. They tell you to like stop, and then you run backwards, and then once you run again, you go through like the cones, zigzag your way through. And when you go back, you kind of like go backwards and zigzag your way through, and you go forward and go backward again. That's kind of like how I've seen the agility run to go. However, like I said, it's a lot better for you to just go ahead and YouTube a video about agility runs, and you'll be just fine. Now, moving on from the agility runs, some other departments require you to go for like a short distance run, which involves sprinting for 300 meters. They give you a particular amount of time to finish it up. Some departments give you like a minute. Honestly, you could finish it like, I'll say 40 seconds to a minute is enough time for you to finish a 300-meter run if you like that fast. But some departments give you like a minute and a few seconds depending on how lenient they are. And basically, all I can say is when it comes to like training for this particular event, I would suggest and advise that you start slow. If you haven't been running before, start slow. Like if you have a long period before your physical test comes up, I'll say start slow. Walk every day. After like maybe 3 or 5 days of walking around walking for like say, let's say like 2 miles or 3 miles, I would say pick it up. Start running slow, jogging of course. Then eventually after like a week, pick up the pace. But if you don't have that long, like say you don't have like 8 months ahead, let's say you don't have 8 months in between your studying right now and your exam date, I would suggest that you involve yourself in doing some more cycling and treadmill. Those things help out a lot. They help give you some leg strength, but also helps with your endurance as well. The reason why I said cycling is because it helps your leg strength. But if you want to increase your endurance, there's no other way to go about it. Just gotta jog. Go for a little jog, go for a little run. This job is gonna be a physical job. Think of it this way: you're gonna have to run in bad weather, in good weather, and like when it's hot outside. Not only that, you have to run with your vests, your old kits, guns, taser, whatever. You have to have everything on, your bulletproof vest, everything on, and you still have to maintain the same level of endurance. So if you're thinking about considering a career in law enforcement, you might want to consider upping the fitness level just a little bit. Alright, some other departments require some push-ups and some sit-ups of course, and sometimes they actually like maybe 18 push-ups. For those that are like fitness freaks, 18 push-ups, oh my god, what's that? Some people actually struggle with doing 18 push-ups. So for my advice for you, if you struggle with doing push-ups, is try doing some strength training. Work on upping your upper body strength. Do some strength training. Watch some videos on how to increase and better your push-ups. Some wide angle push-ups helps, but even little things like baby push-ups. I call them baby push-ups. Start slow. For example, you put your knee on the ground while you just push up and down. So usually in the push-up position, your knee is supposed to be off the ground, and it's just your feet on the ground, your old toes placing points in the ground, as well as you just pushing the whole time. That's how it's supposed to be. However, if you lack that much upper body strength and you feel like you might struggle doing 18 push-ups, I would suggest starting with the baby push-ups where your knees are on the ground and just sort of like do as many reps as you can possibly do and hop and up it up. Don't stop. give yourself a chance, give your body a chance to push itself. Your body will tell you that you can't do this. But if you can convince your mind that you can, if you can convince your mind that you're a master of your mind and you can try to do what you think you can do, your mind will push itself, and therefore your body will push itself. And before you know it, you're rocking out too many push-ups. I've seen people get taken out because of the push-up section. I've seen people get taken out because of the sit-up section. So for the push-ups, I would suggest doing some strength training, upping your upper body strength. For the sit-ups, I would suggest doing some kind of core workout. Start with some planks. Planks don't hurt, they're pretty good. Do some planks, a bunch of planks, and basically try out any other core workout that you can think of out there besides just the plank position. And of course, do some sit-ups. It doesn't hurt. Of course, if you have an injury, I wouldn't suggest you do that yet. But if you have an injury, I also wouldn't suggest you applying for a police position at the moment. Heal up first and then apply. All right, so we're tracking doing some aerobic exercises like the running and sprinting, because your department might require you to do 1.5 mile run, agility run, or even a 300-meter run. We're also tracking strength training for push-ups. Also tracking doing some core workouts like planks as well as sit-ups for the sit-ups test. The last but not the least that I think might be on the tests for you to do might be a police obstacle course. And some departments don't even require any of this. And this is when I say I've taken some exams and I've taken some physical tests, I sure have. Some departments literally don't even want you to do a 1.5 mile run. They don't want you doing push-ups or sit-ups. They want to see how good you are when it comes to obstacle courses, because at the end of the day, part of this job requires you to chase criminals. You're not going to always have the best environment to chase these criminals. You might not have the best environment to chase these suspects. You might not have the best environment to do your job in particular. However, how can you maneuver doing your job while having all of these things around you? So sometimes some other departments will require you to have your whole kit on, or maybe some kind of weighted vest on. Have a weighted vest on. They want to see how high you can climb over let's say a 6-foot wall probably, or sometimes 7, sometimes lower. Who knows, depending on the department. They want to see how high you can jump with your weighted vest on. They want to see how you can go through obstacles like a window. They want to see what you can do. They may even ask you to pull a 25-pound dummy body. Obstacle courses, they want to see how fit you are and how much you don't tire out. Alright, so like I said, this video is not going to take too long like the last one on written examination. It's a physical examination, and this is the part whereby you have to take control of your life. You have to take control of yourself and take control of the physical part. Nobody can help you out at all. We're tracking that you have to train aerobic exercises like running to help you with the agility run, row tests. Yes, even just training for aerobic exercise in general help you out with the row test. We're tracking you have to train for the run, which is the 1.5 mile run, train for the 300-meter run sprint, train for the agility runs that require you to go through cones and stuff. I've told you watch a video about that. Or tracking, you have to train for obstacle courses, or at least know what kind of obstacle course your department requires of you, or in general just train. That's number 4. And we're also tracking, well, I didn't mention this earlier in the video, some departments require you to do a vertical jump. If you guys ever watch an NFL combine, the vertical jump that you have to just jump and kind of tap something, some departments require you to do that. Not all departments have done that. However, I have trained with a bunch of departments, so I have I'm proud to say, and I wouldn't have had any of this experience if I did not get fired, honestly. But I'm proud to say I've trained with several departments, and I'm proud to say, and honestly, I wouldn't have this position if I didn't get fired from my one department, which caused me to take several departments physical tests. But I can personally say that I've gone through several physical tests, and I've gone through written examinations for different departments. So that sort of gives me a plethora of idea of what I'm talking about. And before I go, I'd like to just say, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. You're only as good as the preparation you put into something. Even though you're physically fit, don't ever think anything is going to be added to you and it's going to be real easy. It's going to be a walk in the park. I've seen people get cocky and fail the whole process. Don't let that be you. Our advice: eat well, drink a lot of water, drink a lot of electrolytes or Pedialyte to help your body, as well as sleep well as well. If you have like 2 days before the exam or 3 days before the exam, I don't want you out there working out, going crazy. You don't want to risk any injuries. I would suggest just stretch. You've been training this whole time. You've been training like a month before. You've been training like 3 weeks before. You've been training like 2 weeks before. Week before, 5 days, 4 days out, whatever. When it's getting close, I would suggest sleep well and stretch a lot more often. Don't do too much and you'll be just fine on the exam day. Alright, so that's pretty much it for this video. I hope this video was very educational and helped you out in preparing better, or helping you learn something that you didn't know, or helping you learn something more to what you probably already know about what the physical test of the hiring process is just like. Like I always say, man, good luck to you guys. You guys are doing a great job, and being a police officer is not an easy job, and if you're considering this career path, you're already a winner automatically. So good luck to you guys, and go crush this physical test. Like always, until next time I see you guys, peace and love. Gabe out.